So you've essentially sheltered $50,000 of your employment income. We're in this scenario, you're considering selling, or maybe you have sold and you've got this $50,000 loss. There are two types of losses when we're talking about selling a rental property. One is a terminal loss and one is a capital loss. If the property that you sold is a condo, you're in a scenario where you have a terminal loss. And that's a good thing. That's the silver lining that we want. An apartment style condo is the easiest example because you've only ever bought a building, a part of a building, and you're only ever selling a part of a building. You bought for $400, you're selling for $350, you have a $50,000 terminal loss. And this makes the assumption that you haven't taken a depreciation expense while it's been a rental. That is an option. That's a complexity that you'd have to look into, but let's leave that off the table for now. And let's say that just a simple scenario, you never took that depreciation expense, and so you have this $50,000 terminal loss. The good thing about a terminal loss is that you can deduct that loss against other sources of income. So let's say you have a regular 9-to-5 job, you make $80,000 in a year, as an example. You also now have this terminal loss this year of $50,000. So what you can do is you can deduct that $50,000 of loss from your $80,000 of employment income, and you're only going to pay tax on the $30,000 difference. So you've essentially sheltered $50,000 of your employment income. So let's use the same scenario where we bought a house for $400,000 and now we're selling for $350,000, and it was a rental property the entire time. And so now a portion of that loss should or needs to be calculated in proportion to how much of that loss is for the land and how much of that loss is for the building. And let's say for simplicity, we calculate it out and it's half and half. So you have a $25,000 loss on the land, $25,000 loss on the building itself. So there's a potential that you have a terminal loss now of $25,000, which is good. That's the one we want. We can use that against our other employment income. And then the capital loss on the land, that goes into a separate bucket and cannot be used against your other employment income. And so it's segregated, and it can only be used to offset capital gains. And where you might have capital gains are if you have other rental properties that you sold and have done well and have capital gains, you can offset that income to reduce your taxes. Or maybe you have investments in the stock markets and had some capital gains on selling some shares of a company, something like that. So that capital portion of it is segregated into a separate bucket and can only be used to offset each other. Yeah. You can see our website is hamrose.com, HAMROSE.com, or you can get my email is neufeld@hamrose.com, NEUFELD @hamrose.